Hello, back again on the Top Recap channel. This time I will tell a movie's entitled hunting season. Let's get straight into the storyline. The story begins by introducing a ruthless drug cartel boss named Alejandro, who arrives at an adult bar to track down a dealer who has stolen some of his property. However, the only person he finds there is the dealer's girlfriend, Lizzie. Alejandro leaves a message, telling Lizzie to have the dealer come and see him immediately.
Go home, find Jensen for me, but don't run and don't hide.
Lizzie explains that the dealer, whose name is Jensen, is not actually her boyfriend. They only had a one-night affair, and she hasn't had any contact with him since their last meeting. But Alejandro doesn't care. He pulls out a sharp blade and threatens to kill Lizzie and her entire family if she doesn't find Jensen as soon as possible.
Good girl, Lizzie. Now you can go. Go.
Just after Lizzie leaves, a security guard who witnessed the intimidation tries to stop Alejandro on his way out. Unfortunately, the guard doesn't realize that the man standing in front of him is not someone to be reasoned with. The scene then shifts to a remote area on the outskirts of the city. We are introduced to a retired secret agent named Baudry and his only daughter, Sophia. They live a simple life together in a small cabin deep in the forest, far away from the noise and chaos of urban civilization. Unlike most teenage girls her age, Sophia is raised under very strict and protective rules. Baudry trains her to handle hunting rifles and survival skills instead of letting her hang out in town or go to night markets. Surprisingly, Sophia feels comfortable with this lifestyle and accepts it as her normal way of life. The next morning arrives. Besides being a caring father, Baudry is also deeply religious. Before starting any activity, he always prays for his family's safety and blessings. Since that day happens to be Sophia's birthday, he has prepared a cake and a special gift for her. Because Sophia is still asleep, Baudry goes into town to buy some hunting supplies. At his usual shop, he finds a second-hand lawn-cutting machine. Seeing that it's still in good condition and fixable without a mechanic, he bargains for it at a very low price.
I can do you 45.
I'll give you 20.
This business is going to kill me.
Meanwhile, Sophia wakes up and opens her birthday present. She is overjoyed to find a semi-automatic block pistol, the very thing she has always wanted. After safely storing it, she goes down to the river to fish for tilapia. Suddenly, she hears someone screaming for help. Unsure whose voice it is, Sophia doesn't rush him blindly. Instead, trusting her survival instincts, she returns home to tell Baudry, who has just come back. Together, they go to the river and search the area.
Over there.
Okay.
They discover that the voice belongs to a badly injured girl drifting in the water. Her name is January. No one knows what horrific event happened to her, but Baudry finds that she has a gunshot wound in her side. He wants to take her to the hospital, but January, half conscious, begs them not to.
No hospital. Please.
Using only basic medical tools, Baudry does his best to stop the bleeding.
I am sorry about this. I am sorry.
After treating her wound, Sophia makes warm chicken soup to help January regain her strength. That night, Baudry warns Sophia to keep her distance. January is a stranger with a gunshot wound, and they don't know who she really is or what kind of trouble she might be bringing with her.
You get me. Stick around the house.
Yes, sir.
Gotta leave early, so just keep her in bed. Give her a much of lift.
Night, Bo.
Night.
The next morning, January wakes up to find her hands handcuffed to the bed. Sophia explains that this is her father's security protocol. Although it seems harsh, they truly want to help her, and January understands the situation.
Bo told me that if you tried to move, I'd have to shoot you. I'm just kidding.
Baudry is out at the supermarket buying medicine and clean clothes for January. On his way back, he runs into his old hunting buddy, a police officer named Brake, who introduces him to his new partner, Davin, recently transferred to the area. After a brief conversation, they go their separate ways. Late at night, when Sophia is already asleep, January approaches Baudry, who is still awake. When he asks about what happened to her, January explains that when she came home from work, she found her roommate, Lizzie, being beaten by two masked men. They also attacked January, who had no idea what was going on.
And they were there.
Lizzie!
Liz was hurt. He took us, put us in a car, drove us I don't know how long.
No one knows what the two men really wanted, but they forced Lizzie and January to the riverbank. There, they shot Lizzie's to death and threw her body into the middle of the river. As for January, she managed to escape at first, but not before being shot in the stomach. Believing she was dead and had been carried away by the current, the men left the scene. To make sure of what really happened, Bowdry went out at dawn to follow the river in search of Lizzie's body. And sure enough, he found her corpse caught on some branches near the riverbank. Realizing that if those two men found the body, they would know January had survived, Bowdry let the body drift back into the river before anyone else could see it. Not wanting to hide anything, Bowdry told Sophia what he had discovered. This put him in a dilemma, whether to keep treating January or turn her over to the authorities. But because Sophia insisted on caring for January until she recovered, Bowdry decided to delay his decision.
Get back in the house, tool up, and lock all the doors, okay, baby?
Yes, sir.
Late at night, after days of being bedridden, January was finally able to breathe fresh air again as the wound in her stomach slowly healed. Seeing Bowdry sitting outside the cabin, she approached him to express her deepest thanks. Without their help, she had no idea what terrible fate might have awaited her. Seeing that January was getting better, Bowdry reluctantly told her that starting tomorrow, she would be moved to a clinic owned by an old friend of his. She wouldn't need to worry about the costs. Bowdry would cover everything. Because January understood the situation, she accepted the decision.
Okay.
Still that same night, Alejandro managed to capture Jensen and beat him brutally. It turned out that Jensen was a corrupt police officer who had secretly been working for Alejandro for a long time, paid to smooth the way for his business in the area. But in the latest deal, Jensen had stolen all the goods and disappeared with them. Since Jensen refused to talk, Alejandro killed him in a particularly cruel way.
I'm sorry, bro. I fucked up. I know I fucked up. I know. It's my fault. Don't hurt them, please.
Coward.
The next day, as decided the night before, January was supposed to be taken to the clinic. But on the way, their car was suddenly stopped because of an incident from the previous night. Since the officer handling the case was Brake, Bowdry wasn't too worried.
This world, I ain't right for it. Body.
Brake told him that at dawn during patrol, he had found the body of his subordinate, Jensen, washed up on the riverbank. The killer was still unknown. Police had also received another report about a body found downstream, identified as Lizzie. What made Bowdry uneasy was that the police had traced Lizzie's background and discovered she lived with a close friend. According to neighbors, both women had disappeared at the same time. As for the friend, January, the police were still searching for her. Davin added that they had found some footprints not far from Lizzie's body. He suspected that January might still be alive and that someone was taking care of her. Davin also briefly noticed, from a distance, the silhouette of the woman Bowdry was with. But Bowdry quickly cut in, saying she was his niece from out of town who had come to celebrate Sophia's birthday.
Self-favor. Get her the hell out of here.
Good advice. Good luck.
Since the clinic was no longer the safest option, January was taken back to the cabin to be hidden. There, January finally confessed that on the night of the attack, one of the men had deliberately taken off his mask and threatened that both Lizzie and January would be killed, before January managed to escape into the river. Knowing that January was alive and a key witness in Lizzie's murder, Bowdry realized that those men would definitely be looking for her. And sure enough, as night fell, two strangers came to the cabin. They were Alejandro's men. No one knew how they found January's whereabouts, but Bowdry firmly claimed that he had never seen any strange woman around the area, and he managed to make them leave.
She's a pretty girl. Couple of tattoos, dark hair.
I'm sorry. I hope you find her.
Her name's January. Like the month.
Doesn't ring a bell.
I'm sure she'll pop up. See you soon.
Thinking they were gone for good, Baudry was raw. The two criminals were still watching the cabin from a distance. When one of them sneaked inside to kill January, the other, who stayed in the car, was caught by Baudry. When Sophia fired a warning shot, Baudry immediately shot and killed the intruder.
Okay, sugar. You're next.
To get rid of the evidence, Baudry had no choice but to burn both bodies and dump their car into an abandoned mine that was hard to trace. When they returned to the cabin, January sincerely apologized. Because of her, Baudry and Sophia were now dragged into serious trouble.
I don't even know you. And you saved my life, and I owe you for that.
You don't owe me nothing.
Just take me somewhere, anywhere. Drop me off. They're gonna keep coming back.
Baudry then asked Brake to meet him privately. There, he honestly admitted that the woman who disappeared in the river, January, was now safe with him. But because Alejandro would surely send more men, Baudry begged Brake to keep the secret and help take January out of the area. Before they parted, Baudry gave a thick bundle of money to help January start a new life.
I trust you.
Okay.
As Brake drove away with her, Sophia couldn't hold back her tears. She felt like she was losing someone she had come to see as her own sister, and in such a painful way. The next morning, after waking up, Sophia wondered how January was doing. Baudry was just as curious and tried to call Brake, but his number was no longer active. They decided to go to the police station to see him in person. While Sophia waited in the car, Baudry was greeted by Davin, who had just finished the morning briefing. Instead of telling him where Brake was, Davin rambled on and deliberately changed the subject. He even suggested that Brake might have been working with Jensen. But as far as Baudry knew, Brake was an honest cop who had no interest in dirty money.
Or anybody for that matter. I'll make sure I hit you up real quick.
Appreciate it.
That night, while Baudry and Sophia were asleep, a strange car parked not far from their cabin. The driver got out. It was Davin. No one knew what he was up to, but he sneaked in carrying a pistol. Not long after, Davin found himself tied to a chair with a lawn cutting machine hanging right in front of his face. When Baudry demanded to know why he had come and who he was working for, Davin finally confessed. Brake was already dead, and January had been handed over to Alejandro right after her last meeting with Baudry.
Oh, that's where she is. She's dead. She's already dead. Yeah, sorry, you're fucked.
Who killed him? You?
Yeah. I fucking killed him. Okay, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Okay! Fuck!
Hearing that his best friend was dead and January had been captured, Baudry immediately forced Davin to tell him where Alejandro was. When Davin refused and even challenged him to a one-on-one fight, Baudry lost patience and turned on the machine, injuring Davin's face.
All right, let's get to it.
Once Davin finally revealed the location, Baudry took a moment to write a letter to Sophia. In it, he apologized for not always being able to protect her. If he didn't come home by the next morning, Sophia was to go to her grandmother's house in Mexico.
I love about you. The cabin is yours.
Arriving at an abandoned factory, Baudry dragged the badly beaten Davin inside as leverage. Alejandro was already there, strutting around after using the bathroom, threatening to kill both Baudry and the now useless Davin. Alejandro didn't realize that Sophia had secretly followed her father.
I'm gonna take tack.
A gunfight broke out. Alejandro fled deeper into the factory, while Baudry was shot in the chest. One of Alejandro's men tried to sneak up from the side to finish him off, but Sophia shot the criminal from a distance and saved her father. Because of that heroic move, another thug discovered Sophia's hiding place. As the man approached her, Sophia cleverly outsmarted him by leaving her rifle on top of an empty drum and slipping away. Inside the factory, Baudry found January alive and well. He also discovered that Jensen's wife and child were still alive. But while he was looking for the keys to their restraints, Alejandro suddenly stabbed him in the back. And once again, Sophia arrived just in time. With Alejandro dead, the nightmare finally ended. As a result of everything that happened, Baudry and January had to undergo medical treatment for 3 months. After some time had passed, Baudry and Sophia invited January to stay with them permanently, to make sure she would finally be safe.